Hi, welcome everybody. So we are going to resume discussions on no code and low code AI tools for AI managers and for other AI related roles. In the previous discussion, we have discussed certain stages and the respective tools which are used in those stages, like business process discovery, data collection and integration, data preparations, uh, descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, LLM experimentation, and enterprise RAG. I believe everybody is clear with the concepts of the last one. So now, after let's say using these stage number 1 to stage number 7, a POC kind of a product is built. Okay, a minimum viable product for AI can be built using these 7 stages. Now, once this product is built, now you have to convert this product into, let's say, a production grade product, a product which is going to solve actual, customers' problem. So now what are the stages and how and what kind of tools we are going to use? We are going to discuss that. Okay. Let's quickly get started with the stage. So the next stage is AI agent development. Okay. So once your basic AI model is ready, now you can deploy one agent who can do this work for you automatically on your behalf. Okay. So what kind of tools we can use? We can use Microsoft Copilot Studio. This is one of the best tools with respect to organizations, those who are already using Microsoft related tools. Like, let's say there is an organization who already use Microsoft Dynamics, or they use Microsoft 365, or they use Azure. Their solutions, their existing business solutions or ERP are deployed on Microsoft Azure. So eventually, Microsoft Copilot would be their first preference in case if they need an AI agent. Okay. Uh, and why do you need these agents? So generally, we need these agents, to take instructions, knowledge, tools, actions, and workflows from the users or from the manager or whoever is controlling that system. And on the basis of those instructions, knowledge, tools, actions, and workflows, the agent performs work automatically on your behalf. Okay. Suppose there is a department, let's say a sales department. Okay. In sales department, we all are aware, majority of these Fortune 500 organizations use Salesforce. Okay. For their sales departments, wherever they deal with, customer relationship managers, ERPs, and various other tools, majorly related to sales, department. Salesforce has a lot of solutions. Now, suppose we need to build an AI agent which will do the sales job. Let's say he might, prepare a sales script, let's say for a customer, or do something related to sales. Then eventually, Salesforce Agent Force would be one of our preferred tools in order to build something around Salesforce stack of applications which are already being used in the organization. Because of the integration part, it will be easy for us to integrate that. It is not mandatory to use Salesforce. You can eventually build an AI agent using Microsoft Copilot also, but integration would be a little difficult part. Okay, so in order to ease those integrations where you already have, let's say, Salesforce applications, and you want those Salesforce applications to give data to this agent, or the agent should take instructions from those existing applications, take knowledge from those existing applications, and perform certain action out of it. Hence, we can use Salesforce Agent Force typically. Similarly, similar is the case with ServiceNow Agent Studio. Okay, ServiceNow is also pretty popular, where people use ServiceNow developers develop applications across, they majorly build across human resources. And so ServiceNow deals with human resources and various other departments like finance. There are many modules like that available. So again, you can use ServiceNow AI Agent Studio also. Okay. Then we have UI path agents. UI path agents are also great at creating workflows. Okay. So in case if you use any UI path related workflow, and in case you want to create an agent across those applications, you can prefer UI path agent also. So it totally depends on the environment, what enterprise environment you are in, what stack of tools are already being used in that organization, and depending on those set of tools, there are agent studios available to build for around those environment, around those tools, so that you can pick up information. Let's say, suppose there is a sales agent. So this sales agent has to pick up new leads. Okay. So, and he has to pick up this new lead from a Salesforce application. So it will be easy for the Salesforce agent to communicate with Salesforce CRM system, take that lead and start communication with that. So that is one AI agent can do that. So you can build one agent to do one respective task. Okay. So objective of an agent is to solve one problem. Okay. And similarly, what you can do is you can have you can have multi-agent orchestrations. Okay. Multi-agent orchestration means you can have a group of agents where each agent will do one respective job. Okay. To give you an example, suppose we are playing cricket. Okay. So in cricket, let's say we have a batsman, we have a runner, we have an umpire, we have a wicket keeper, we have a bowler, we have fielders. So these are different roles. Okay. Batter is going to shoot, runner is going to run, bowler is going to bowl, umpire is going to decide, review a judgment in case of out or in case of run out, in case of catch or in case of no ball, white ball, all of that. So there's a reviewer. Then there are field agents. So you can consider uh, that similar example can be taken into an enterprise workflow where there could be different roles, and every agent is there for a specific role to do a clear action, and we can have a multi-agent orchestration. Okay, we can have different types of agents doing different roles. Suppose I built a online learning studio, let's say. Okay. And let's say students are coming, they are searching their courses and they are buying their courses from the website, and then they are taking their courses. Post courses, they are getting support, they are sharing their feedback, and depending on the feedback, they are getting the resolution to their issues, let's say. So these could be different set of roles where there could be an agent who can initially talk to the student and get the admission done. Second, there could be an agent who can, depending on the profile of the candidate, he can shortlist best videos for him and can give him access to that personalized set of videos. Okay. Now, once he's watching that video, whenever he gets a query, so he can shoot a question, and there could be one agent who can take that question, go to internet, make a solution or integrate with an LLM, search the solution, build a solution, and respond him back for the respective solution. So we can have a multi-agent orchestration. And for that, there are again tools like ServiceNow you can use. We have UiPath Maestro for multi-agent orchestration. We have Copilot Studio. We have Salesforce Agentforce. We have AWS Bedrock. So again, when will you use AWS Bedrock? So suppose there are businesses, those who are using Amazon Web Services for implementation of their business. So it is easy for them to take service from AWS Bedrock to get a multi-agent orchestration done. Okay. And that is what is important. So obviously, many times when we go for an interview, we try to understand what is the existing stack that organization uses. Do they, and you can clearly identify, let's say we go for an organization for an interview, and this may be a Fortune 500 organization, or it might be working for a customer who is a Fortune 500 company. And many times you will identify that they have a clear set of stack which they are using for their respective project. So either they would be using Microsoft stack, or they will be using a Google stack, or they will be using Amazon's stack. Okay. And and if you are an AI manager, so you have to build solutions around those tools. So obviously, it is a good idea to have knowledge of multiple different platforms and use that respective platform depending on the environment. Okay, because in case if I'm an expert with Microsoft Copilot only, and if I go to an organization where they use AWS or they use ServiceNow or a Salesforce agent, and if I, force myself to build solutions using Microsoft and aggressively or forcefully would want to integrate that solution into another stack, obviously it is going to be pretty complex. So nobody would want to hire a person who's going to increase complexity. So obviously many times in interviews there are questions like what tools or what stack do you know? And from the job description we can clearly identify whether are they using AWS stack or Microsoft stack or Google stack, because organizations, those who typically use a stack, they mention in their job description about what kind of tools they are looking for in the profile. Okay, so eventually we should be able to rewrite our resume accordingly. If we have knowledge across different set of stacks, eventually we can prioritize the majority stack which is in demand with that recruiter or employer. So it is important that we should be aware accordingly. Similarly, multi-agent orchestration, the major part is we should be able to coordinate across multiple specialist agents, robots, APIs, and finally these agents would communicate to humans. Okay, suppose a compliance decisions needs to be taken. Suppose a transaction happened and suppose a loan transaction approval request came. Okay. Now this AI Copilot has reviewed and this loan amount could be a bigger amount. Let's say it could be a 50 lakhs amount or 5 crore amount, something like that. So there were certain documents which this AI agent verified, and there might be certain gaps which are not available in that document and which a compliance officer only can figure it out. Okay, so similarly once the agent has to take risky decisions, he has to escalate that decision to a human, okay, to a compliance officer or to a respective, let's say, loan approval officer, who's going to review that specific case and see what is missing, discuss with the person and understand what might be the problem because of which there is certain issue happening, and try to take a decision on the basis of it, whether we should consider that loan approval or not. So this is very important. So when there are multiple agents working in an orchestration fashion and an important decision has to be taken, then there should be a human in the loop connectivity. So whenever we are using a tool, we should obviously try to identify, can we integrate APIs into it, can we integrate human in the loop workflows in it. So these are also important while we are implementing this. Followed by, then we have business workflow automation. Okay, so the major important part of this situation is, so you have a business workflow. Now, why are we doing all of this AI agent process is to reach out to a better decision and take actions more appropriately. Okay, so one of the major part is the AI should be able to trigger real actions in the enterprise systems. Okay, there should be a real action happening. Real action as in, suppose we took this case of loan approvals, let's say. Okay, so the real action would be a loan dispersal process, okay, which should happen. So once because money has to be transferred, and money holds a value, and it needs to be transferred to someone else's account, and it is clear that it is not going to come back. Once it is transferred to another account, it is very difficult to get it back. So it could be a risky decision. Now, this risky decision, the AI should be able to trigger the respective real action with highest possible confidence. That is what is needed. Okay. So eventually, as an AI manager, when we are implementing these workflows, we have to see and ensure that what kind of real actions our tool set or integration set is going to produce and how it is going to make an impact. Okay. Suppose we did a lot of AI agentic work, and finally at a human level, we give him a pool of hundreds and thousands of decisions to be taken, and humanly it may not be possible, and hence a lot of delays being caused maybe. Suppose there are 500, let's say there are 5,000 loan applications which are processed, okay, which has to be processed on a respective day. And in all of these 5,000 loan approvals, let's say AI is doing its part and sending all these approval, cases to the compliance officer. So obviously, processing all this 5,000, loan applications, which could be a loan application, let's say starting from 1,000 rupees. Okay, somebody is drawing 2,000 rupees because there are these digital loan systems happening today, and people, do convert their EMIs or take loans specifically for smaller amounts also. Considering, let's say, somebody is taking a loan for 5,000 or 10,000 or so, and in case if a compliance officer is occupied, taking final review for all of these small little transactions, which makes no sense why we did automation then. Similarly, let's say, suppose there is a agent who, there's an admission agent who takes users information, uh, creates invoices, does the admission, and now he's waiting for a signature from the accountant for the invoice to be processed and the account to be created. So obviously, it will be a failure of the system because if one person, let's say, has to typically issue, let's say, 10,000, invoices or selection letters to candidates, so it will become, very, very difficult. So obviously, wherever we are implementing artificial intelligence, we have to ensure that what would be the outcome, what would be the real action which would be triggered, and how will it can be triggered safely, compliant, where only very high risky transactions needs to be, reviewed by the compliance officer, and the compliance officer has that control to roll back it. Okay. In case if there is no rollback possible, then obviously it is a big problem. Okay. So certain things we have to think and we have to sort while we are implementing these tools. So we have seen again, there are the same set of tools. Power Automate is one good tool which we can use for these workflow automations. So Power Automate helps you collect data. UiPath will help you, include agents in your workflow. Then again, you have ServiceNow Flow Designer, Salesforce Flow Automation Anywhere. These are the tools which can be used for business workflow automation. Next is human in the loop review, which I have already addressed. So using UiPath Action Center, using this Action Center, we can integrate a human escalation in the agentic workflow. So whenever, so what we can do, we can route uncertain or high risk AI decisions to authorized people. Okay. And for that, we have Action Center, we have Power Automate approvals, we have ServiceNow approvals, we have Appian, we have Salesforce Flow. We can use all of these tools to integrate human in the loop review system also. So whenever there is any risky transaction happening, it will automatically route that decision to the authorized professional. And we can implement it with UiPath, Power Automate, ServiceNow, and that can be done. You also need application interface because whenever any user has to use, let's say, AI, obviously there should be an interface. Suppose we use ChatGPT. So ChatGPT has given us a chat interface where we can interact. Okay. So majority of the times, this AI mechanism or AI system which we build, we do need to create certain interfaces so that users can react to it. Let's say a compliance officer should be able to react. A customer requesting for a loan application should be able to react. Okay. A support engineer, let's say, should be able to interact. So for this interactions, we have interfaces, and we can use Power Apps to create these interfaces. There are Power Pages, Retool, Bubble, Mendix, OutSystems, AppSheet. These are some of the application interface designing tools. So across using your AI agents, you can connect your AI agents with these interface building tools. With these tools, you can create beautiful, user interfaces so that your users can interact with your AI systems, whatever you have built. Okay. We can use these tools to create internal applications. We can use these tools to create portals. We can use these tools to create AI business interfaces. So you don't need to be a full stack developer. You don't need to be a web developer, or you don't need to be a mobile application developer in order to build a AI system. You can use these no code tools in order to build user interfaces, which actually users can use and proceed forward. Next, this is one of the most important part for a AI manager, where he should be testing and evaluating the system, though he do not need to test himself. So what I sometimes say, AI manager is like a captain of the team. Okay, suppose consider yourself as Dhoni, or whoever is the current captain of these cricket teams. I'm not much aware about it, but eventually, let's say you have to be a captain, and in your team you have multiple batsmen, you have wicket keepers, you have bowlers, you have fielders. So eventually you will assign different activity to these different agents with a common outcome to win and solve that problem, get the solution, win that game. But you should be able to continuously monitor whether batsman is doing his job, bowler is doing his job properly, fielders are doing their job properly, coach is doing things appropriately, all of that. Okay. So as an AI manager, testing and evaluation is also one of the important part for us, and we have to get that done with the testing teams. Okay. Whether AI agent is working properly, is AI producing the right outcome, is AI taking the right actions? So we have to think about it as well, and we have to test it. We have to monitor it whether it is producing the right outcomes or not. Okay. Sometimes what will happen, I'll tell you. Suppose you got a AI stuff and you asked your technical team to build a solution and give a document around it. Now, what this team did, they built us. They may or may not have built the solution. They just used AI. They took your input, or they took the customer's input. They put it into AI. AI produced some document, and they just forwarded the document to you without reading themselves. So obviously you cannot, because it is the team can make mistakes. As an AI manager, it is our responsibility to review those documents first. That does this document actually make sense? Will it actually solve the problem of the user? Am I convinced how it is going to solve the problem? Can I understand how this solution will work? Or will I speak to my team to explain me first that how it is going to solve my problem, and then I'm going to forward it to the customer? Because if it makes no sense to me, 200% it is not going to make any sense to my customer to whom this documented report or a solution would be forwarded. So as a manager, it is very, very important for us to use certain tools so that we can check these agents as well. Okay. So that we can test the groundedness, we can check answer quality, we can check task completions, we can check latency, safety, and cost. Okay. And there are tools for that, because for testing software we have different set of tools available. For testing processes, we have different set of tools available. How would we test an AI system? So to test an AI system, we have a set of tools which we can use to test and evaluate them. The evaluations would be on the basis of groundedness, or the answer quality, or the task completions which that agent has done, or the latency, how much time he's taking to solve that. Okay. So given, let's say, I wanted my AI to inspect a damage on a car. I have given him a photograph. The AI took that photograph. Now it is trying to diagnose the damages. And suppose it is taking 1 hour to diagnose, those images and identify the damages appropriately, exactly. So that makes no sense to me. It is a complete failure of the system, because a human can do it in 40 minutes. Why would I need an AI system who's doing it in 60 minutes? I would be needing an AI system who can do it quickly, let's say within 1 second, or within 20 milliseconds or 50 milliseconds. So that is what is the latency which we need to test. That even though your AI system is working, but what is the latency and in how much time he's processing? So we should have a testing and evaluation mechanism, and we can use Microsoft Foundry evaluations that is available for Microsoft Set, Then in Copilot, we have test sets, we have Databricks ML flow, we have data IKU evaluations, and we have agent force testing, Salesforce agent force testing. These are the set of tools available where we can test the performance of AI models. This is also very, very important. So I believe now you are enjoying in a way that, okay, there are various tools. If I'm clear with what all needs to be done, I have a set of tools which I can use. So one tool is not going to solve everything. Whichever life cycle stage you are, you should use a good set of stack. Majority of the tools like Microsoft, Salesforce, Google, AWS, they will try to give you solutions to maximum all of the stages possible. Okay. But again, in those tools also, there are separate sub tools which you need to use in order to get your work done professionally and efficiently. Okay. Initially, when we have to get started, where let's say non-technical, technical teams, AI teams, and agent teams, everything has to collaborate, we can get started with data IQ initially at this level. But when we get into an enterprise, we need to understand their environment, and accordingly, we are going to set and use the tools. So it is a good idea that you try to explore all possible tools one by one with respect to stage by stage implementation so that you'll gain more confidence. Okay. Now, finally is deployment, monitoring, and governance. This is a very important part. So Microsoft Foundry is available. Here, what we can do, we can publish, monitor, and govern the quality of the model, the drift score of the model, failures of the AI model, usage of the AI model, security of data of the AI models, lineage, and cost. So we have Purview. Microsoft offers Purview, which we can use in order to protect the security of the AI systems. Similarly, we have Vertex AI from Google Cloud. We have Amazon Bedrock. We have Databricks. We have Data IQ. We have Data Robo, Azure Monitor. We have Power Platform Admin Center, which can help us, govern the performance of these tools, calculate and evaluate the drift score. If the scores are less than the threshold, then we can recommend retraining of the model and continuous improvement of the model. And on day one, I have told you one thing. As an AI manager, one of the most important responsibility of an AI manager is continuous improvement of the AI models working okay, at your business process. So you have to focus on continuous improvement of the model. Okay. And whatever is required to ensure that, and this deployment, monitoring, and governance is one of the most important part where you would be monitoring wherever you see, okay, the drift score is going low, you will speak to your technical team to retrain the model and update the model with a fresh set of data. And in case if there are any challenges, that needs to be fixed. Now, so again, now you are very, very clear. We discover the problem, we collect the data, we integrate the data, we prepare the data. Then on the basis of preparation, we build AI agents. We automate the process using orchestration, multi-agent orchestrations. We include a human in the loop in order to take risky decisions. We deploy the system for an enterprise to use at a customer level or at an enterprise level, and monitor and govern the system in order to ensure continuous improvement of the model. So all of these stages, these are your team members, these are your players. You as an AI manager should be able to communicate with all of these people, those who are working in your team, and you can get things done because you are the captain of this complete game. Okay. And if you have knowledge about what tools are there, what they do, what outcome they produce, whether that outcome is correct or not, the more you will have, control in delivering that continuous improvement of the model. Okay, that is what is important. And wherever there are mistakes, you'll be able to spot it and identify it, even though you are not that technical. Okay, so we can do that. Now, moving on to the next set. So here, these are the priority platforms and recommended stacks. So suppose I work for a company where we already have these tools available, let's say. Microsoft 365, Teams, SharePoint, Dynamics 365, Azure environment. And suppose we connect on Teams and majority of the conversation happens on Teams. So now I want an AI agent who should connect with Teams and who should collect that information from there, make a notes of all the meeting, identify all the action points to be taken, and send an email of all those action points to the respective team members. So obviously, which agent building platform I'm going to use? Definitely, I'm going to use Microsoft Copilot Studio or a Power Platform. Okay, because the choice is clear. Okay. Similarly, if I work in an enterprise where my solution is on Google Cloud, my data is on BigQuery, let's say I'm using Gemini solutions. All my team members use Google Workspace. They have Google accounts. Okay, they all their data is on Google Drive and all of that. Then why would I take all of this and take it to Microsoft? Never. I would never want to do that. And what I would prefer in that case, eventually it is better to use Google Vertex tool. So depending on what kind of tools you are already using, suppose your tickets come on email. Okay, your people write support queries to an email ID, and all those support queries come to your Gmail ID. Okay, so why would you want to go to Microsoft Copilot to build an agent? You go to Vertex AI, you build an agent, he will read data from Gmail, he will process all your support query mails, make an answers to them and start responding to them. And wherever the agent will feel, okay, this response of email could be a little risky one, he will notify you, okay, out of 500 emails, these are two emails which needs your highest decision. So kindly, review this and give me the next action. So it will ask you an action, you approve yes and no, reply or no reply or whatever it is. You click send and eventually that mail gets sent via the agent. And how you can do that? You can use this set of tools to create that workflows. Okay. I believe you are clear now. Then how to use what? Similarly, there would be various companies, those who are using Amazon, AWS first organizations, where their majority stack is on AWS. Eventually, they'll be using Amazon Bedrock. Okay. Cross-functional analytics and AI teams, they would use data IQ. Okay. Programmers, solution builders, those who have to deal with multiple different projects. Let's say in our case, I want to try 5 different, AI products for 5 different companies. Let's say I want to build something from Hitachi, then for Visa, then for Honeywell. So I would be working across, different problem statements and use cases, and data IQ would be a better choice for me. And it is available free of cost, so I can use it. Okay. Or if I use Google related applications and I'm building something for Google, I will go to Google Agents tool. If my solution, let's say my talent grid solution is on AWS and all my services are on AWS, my instance is on AWS. If I want to build an agent across my talent grid services, I will definitely go for AWS Bedrock and connect there. I will avoid Microsoft Copilot and Google in those cases, as well as data IQ. I'm not going to use data IQ in that case. Okay. So these are the ways with which we can do. Obviously, for creating workflows, 9 is also very, very good. Okay. It is for analytics heavy teams and cost conscious products. 9 is a very good tool, and definitely we will be working on it. And one of the best part of 9 is it is drag and drop workflows for data access, machine learning, and LLM integrations. Okay. So it is a flow diagram, drag and drop kind of features are there. Suppose we need to perform data cleaning, we can drag the data cleaning module on the data set and it can clean it for us. Similarly, we can apply a machine learning model in a workflow. Data IQ also offers this drag and drop facility, and 9 is also good. So we will also try 9 as well. Similarly, UiPath is there for process automation environments, which combines multiple AI agents. You can include robotic process automation. You can perform human task routing. UiPath is good for that. We have ServiceNow AI Agent Studio. This is for HR teams, enterprise operations teams. Okay. So in case if you're building anything for HR related organizations or HR related purposes, you can use ServiceNow. That is a good choice to start with. Similarly, if you're building something for sales department, service department, customer relationship management department, or e-commerce teams, obviously it is a good idea to use Salesforce Eventforce. all of these tools more or less are doing the same thing. They will solve your AI development problem. Okay. So this tool is also going to bring agents together, actions and workflow automation into your Salesforce ecosystem. And this connects agents directly to enterprise workflows and operational tasks. Okay. So now, depending on the need, also, I have organized certain tools for your reference about what we can do. So here are certain tools. In case if you want to build something related to UI, you can use Power Apps. If you want to do workflow automation, you can use Power Automate. If you want to build an AI agent, you can use Copilot Studio. If you want to build an advanced LLM platform like ChatGPT or something, you can use Microsoft Foundry. If you want to build an enterprise knowledge extraction or a ERP related tool to search something from the enterprise documents and respond the questions, you can use SharePoint plus Azure AI Search. For analytics, we can use Power BI. For predictive machine learning, we'll use Data IQ. For human approvals, we'll use Power Automate. For monitoring, we will use Foundry monitoring. For governance, we can use Microsoft Purview and Power Platform Admin Center. So